Yeah, this is Doug Smith here. I'm here with all my friends, people I grew up with, people that I knew growing up, who influenced my life more than anybody on this earth. My father, my father, I look up for him. I've always looked up to my father more than anything because I knew that you were trying to be happy, you know, that you weren't happy at home, and that you were trying to do what you could, and you met someone that you fell in love with. So I had no problem with that. In these years that I was growing up, I lived two separate lives, Emily. Two separate lives. Because one with Mom and with my friends at home in Smyrna, and one with Dad and with his family and where he was. Two separate lives. I was two separate people. I was a total different person when I was with my mom than when I was with my dad, because Dad, we had a steady home life, you know, at home. At Dad's house, we was with family. Him and Deborah loved me, and she was like my second mother. I started calling her mother back then because on the weekends, you know, we were just doing, and this was just every 2 days, every 2 weeks, and then I was back home with Mom. And me and Mom never got along good, and Sherry took advantage of her a lot, and we were bad kids, you know. We were little rotten, little spoiled brats. And we knew it, and I've always regretted it. I always felt so bad for the way I treated her back in them days. And we went at each other because she would usually drink herself to sleep at night, you know. My mother, she'd come home and she would hit the bottle, you know, and watch TV, and she'd pass out in her little chair at night. Sometimes I'd have to get up in the middle of the night and wake her up to get her to go to bed. You know, she was really bad. She was resentful, and then I started drinking at a young age too, because alcohol was always a big part of our lives. Even when I was with Dad and Deborah, they were socializers. You know, we went to like Charlie's Oyster Shack. That was some of the most fun memories that I remember, is going to Charlie's with Dad and Deborah and eating oysters and just. And while they talked with their friends and socialized, and they like drink beer and everything. And I remember at 15 years old, Dad taught me how to drive his car. You know, I was 15 and I learned how to drive a stick shift, the old Ford Escort. And I remember that was the funnest times, because I used to be the designated driver and drive them home after a late night or whatever. I'd drive them home. I would. And these are memories that I remember. And I was a responsible kid that even as a teenage drinker, we only drank on weekends. You know, high school was a social event. We used high school as a social event. We were always talking and hanging out with our friends, you know, and at school. And on the weekends, it was about the ball games, and then seeing what's going on with who's ever house or whatever. And we was going cruising and doing all that stuff. But me and Tiger, I remember I'd get money from Mom to go to the arcade, and we'd go get a buddy of ours to give us a quart of Schlitz malt liquor, and we would drink a quart down and go to the arcade and just cruise around and catch a buzz, and I kind of changed, you know. I get a little personality and started feeling good, you know, and being with my friends and having fun, you know, and learning life that way. But I was with people who were smart enough to, you know, that they had good work ethic. And when we were growing up, we raked leaves, we cut grass, we cut the neighbor's grass for money. You know, we had chores that we had to do. And if we weren't doing all that, we were out running around playing football, front yard or backyard football with our friends, or this or that, or going around egging people's cars or doing stupid stuff. But when high school came, me and Tiger, you know, he was my best friend, you know, and we knew everybody. And we'd go cruising and everything, and, you know, we weren't, and I didn't have like a big group of people I hung out with. It was just me and him. We were tight, huh? He's on the way. He said he's going to be here about 6:20, I think. But all these people were there for me in some of the darkest times of my life. And I got in a lot of trouble back in them days. I mean, I know I did, and more trouble than any of these people even know about. And I had, when I got saved at that church camp, ever since then, Christ was with me, and I prayed to Him, you know. I prayed to Jesus at night, you know. I'd be in bed and I'd cry myself to sleep because of my situation, you know. I didn't have a happy home life, you know. I didn't have a happy home life at all. I was depressed. And I would go to school depressed because a lot of times me and Mom would fight in the morning, and I'd be in a bad mood going to school. You know, I'd be all in this bad humdrum mood. And I'd be in homeroom, you know, and Tiger and everybody be cutting up. And so that's where I enjoyed life, was with my friends, and these people were special. What? What, babe? What? I'm talking to my Aunt Emily and my dad, and I got friends here that are going to be coming in. Friends are going to be coming in here that I grew up with that ain't seen me in 30 years. People ain't seen me in 30 years. They want to come see Doug. They remember these days. They want to see me.
Punch you out.
Hold on, Emily.
Yeah, hold on.
Y'all ain't leaving already, are you? Are y'all leaving?
It's on.